The employers that spoke this morning, not only on a panel but at roundtables, certainly put a huge emphasis on networking and talked a lot about the networking opportunities, etc. Could each of you speak about your respective organizations and what networking opportunities that they offer? Rick, you touched on it, but I think we'd like to hear a little bit more about which each of those designations could do for networking opportunities. And I'll go the other way this time. I'll pick on Melissa first, please.
Okay. Through CMA Ontario, once you have a student member, so the benefits don't even start when you're a full-fledged certified management accountant. There's a lot of opportunity to get involved in. For example, last week we had a connections event where we have elite employers all throughout the GTA that come together. Not only are they hiring, but maybe they have a little bit to tell you about their organization, where they're growing, what type of opportunities that they're hiring for. These are opportunities for anybody at any stage of their career to just come out, interact, and networking is key. I know you guys will probably agree with me, is, you know, the resumes is a big deal, but anyone could put together a pretty resume. It's that face-to-face interaction and networking with people that are going to get you places. So that's something that no matter, even if you're not looking for an entry-level position, you're at a controller level, maybe you're looking for people to join your team and you're a manager, there's always opportunity to get involved. Throughout the year, there's just a lot of different opportunities to get involved and meet with different employers. So.
Right, go ahead.
Very similarly, the way that we're set up with the Logistics Institute, our whole reason for existing is to develop a professional community of interest. So networking is what we're all about, more so than training or providing any educational opportunities. What we do specifically to enhance that, throughout the year we do a number of workshops and roundtable discussions where we invite our professional members and student and associate members to come out and just get together and have these discussions about whatever the hot topics are. This morning, for instance, we had members of EDC, which is the Export Development Canada group, come down and talk about the risk of financial transactions overseas. And I actually left that early this morning. It's just things were getting really exciting. But we had about 30 people show up for that one, and they were interested in just hearing the topic being spoken about and then getting together afterwards for networking. There's a second very strong component that we have because we are an international organization and our designation is in 12 countries. We have a private members chat board and a private members discussion whiteboard, I'll call it. So within our secure computer system, we have an intranet set up so that you can launch questions, talk about things that are happening in your company that you need help with identifying best opportunities for ways to get around problems. And we're all about working together to problem solve and to come up with new ideas and new ways of attacking the situations that cause the bottom line to go in the wrong direction.
As far as the Financial Planners Standards Council, actually, they came up with the brilliant idea of the Financial Planning Week, which actually is next week. So look out for it. There's going to be all sorts of media events that are going on and a big push to showcase the profession. But as part of the Financial Planning Week, there's a symposium and a conference that the Financial Planners Standards Council hosts that hundreds of financial planners attend, and it's next week actually at the Carlu, and it's a great chance to meet people from all across Canada and learn from each other and exchange ideas, and it's a wonderful forum.
No, but the Certified General Accountants of Ontario, typically, while you're a student in the program or even a member, you are admitted into our membership. So technically, you're not an alumni like many of the universities or colleges, but you're admitted. So you're part of a network of around 75,000 students and members globally. So that itself is a huge network, and you can kind of leverage the resources as well as when it comes to your employment search, your employment referral service. That's the kind of support you could bank on. Now, with students in our program as well as members, we have another number of events, networking events, conferences, as well as opportunities at our chapter levels, which are at different locations for you to kind of network. For very students in our program, we do have discussion boards where you can probably, using your postal code, you can connect with other students because our entire program is online. You can make your own networks and build from there. I know going back from the program myself and being an internationally trained professional, my own home network was for students in the program that was created, being a newcomer here. So saying that, and on a professional level and with internationally trained professionals itself, we at CGA Ontario have many speed networking events at many immigrant serving agencies to help you connect and build your own professional networks with CGA. So these are the various resources that we do offer you, and it's for you to avail and take that next step and build those connections, because it's many a time, it's not what you know that really matters here, it's who you know that counts.
Thank you. Now, I'm going to just briefly ask, and not asking you to rhyme off large website addresses, but is there any print publications that your organization puts out, or is everything you do online and available online? Melissa?
We actually do have a lot of print publications that kind of help out with the accreditation process, just upcoming events. If you're looking for like upcoming events, upcoming information sessions, links to our different career events, those will all be located online. Or if you are a student member, they will be broadcasted to you. So maybe like a quarterly email will be sent out, or even if it's a bigger event, it'll be sent out every time they come up. So this way.
One of the key initiatives in supply chain right now is being green and making sure that you're doing what you can to avoid polluting the environment anymore. So we do all we can to make sure everything is available online.
Same thing with FPSC. Pretty much everything is available online. You can go to fpsc.ca. There's a great database of financial planners, certified financial planners all across Canada. So wherever you live, you can go and look for a financial planner that specializes in what you do, or speaks the language that you speak, or charges their fees the way that you want to pay them, and find them through that website. There are also print publications. I've actually brought this one, which is at that table that says finance, and there's nobody sitting at it back there. And this publication tells you all the steps that you need to take to become a certified financial planner in Canada. And feel free to pick up copies.
Information on our events would be available online, and events for internationally trained professionals, specifically for individuals like you, that we hold at various agencies or immigrant serving agencies, and at bridge programs like the York University or any other university that we participate or partner with, will definitely be available with that particular organization or institution. But saying that, we also have a print publication, what we call statements, that doesn't kind of give all the information of future events, but does tell you what's really happening at CG Ontario on a bi-weekly basis. So that, I mean, as long as you're on a mailing list, you could avail of that kind of a publication too. That's readily available.
Thank you. Do any of you have perhaps an anecdotal story that could reference when an IEP joined your association, and perhaps how it contributed, at least in part, to them finding some successful opportunity or experience? Or, Carmen, I suspect your own story is part of it. Maybe you'd like to start.
That's pretty true. I mean, being an internationally trained professional myself, I came down to Canada in 2004. And I would say if it wasn't for my CGA designation today, I wouldn't have this opportunity to talk to you. It's the very fact that I was enrolled in the program, and that's a story that, you know, that I could actually vouch for a number of our students, brings that visibility to an employer. And it helped me get my first break with BMO Bank of Montreal. I climbed to a position of an analyst at BMO, moved on to the Canadian Organization for International Philanthropy. They're taking care of a senior accountant while I was at a PACE level. And today I take care of business development at CG Ontario. And that's while once I got designated. So bottom line is, I think a designation is a quickest way to your roadmap to success, very similar to mine. It's no magic. It does require that determination to go ahead to pursue it. The going is tough, but once you're there, it's definitely, you've covered and reached a big milestone, I would say.
Well, the thing that comes to mind, I'm an IEP myself too, And my background is I have a master's in communications and television production, so I never dreamed in my wildest dreams that I would become a financial planner one day, but I have become one. And when I joined the Financial Planners Standards Council, I mean, I do a lot of volunteer work in terms of charitable work and sitting on boards and stuff, and I thought, you know, I should help my own association too. So I volunteered to write for them and do, you know, I sent articles that they put on their website, and slowly they started to refer me to some reporters who wanted to interview financial planners for the stories that they were writing about. And, you know, these things build on themselves, so the reporters referred me to other reporters that they knew, and now on a daily basis I'm getting interviews from the Globe and Mail, the National Post, this and that, and it was all as a result of volunteering for my association to try to help out. So you give and you receive.
Yes.
I actually just started with the Logistics Institute in April of this year, and I'll tell you a story about Vijay. Vijay, I'm not going to try his last name. He came over from Sri Lanka in February and flew into Edmonton. So first day off the plane, I don't know if any of you are familiar with Edmonton in February compared to the weather in Sri Lanka. It's a little bit different, somewhat colder. He didn't have a jacket. He got off the plane, he got settled in, however, I think his brother had sponsored him or an in-law or something. But anyway, he got settled in Edmonton, and from February through April had been trying to find some kind of connection to get a job. He was actually advised that with his experience, he should connect with the Logistics Institute. So he did. We invited him to come and join us in April for an executive program we were doing, which allowed him to earn his PLOG designation. Very intensive course, but he had all of the credentials he needed in order to get involved in it. So he came down, he met, I guess we had 22 people in the course at the time. So he's networking with 22 different individuals, all at the director and executive level through our organization. And within 6 weeks of completing the program and earning his PLOG designation, he, back in Edmonton, connected with another PLOG and was offered a job, and he's now gainfully employed since it was sometime at the end of May. So having come in February, earned his PLOG in April, he was employed by the end of May. So
Great.
He's one of our great success stories.
I do have a few stories. I am from an accounting and finance agency, so I've met a lot of people that have come in with very little experience from their home countries. I'll speak of one girl, I won't use her name, but she actually was highly designated in the Philippines, and when she first came to me about 3 years ago, she was just very, I'm sure as a lot of people feel when they first come to Canada, just, you know, a lot of experience in her own country. She was a controller, she did a lot of financial reporting for various business units, and she actually did a lot of governance and risk management, and she was doing so much in her own country. And what was very frustrating for her is she wasn't even able to get her foot in the door here. So she was applying to roles such as like an accounting clerk position, intermediate positions that she felt like were something that she was doing 10 years ago. Yeah. So one thing that she started to do is look into the different designations. She started to do her CMA about 2 years ago, and I actually believe she's convocating a month from today. She, about 8 months ago, got a role with CMA Canada. She just got promoted to the financial reporting supervisor, I believe. So she came down and spoke to me about 2 months ago, and just very, very happy. She's come a long way. And I think with her, the designation just opened doors for her. Like throughout the program, the strategic leadership program, she was able to network and meet a lot of professionals, and, you know, lucked out and met someone at CMA, and they were hiring for a position. So that's one of my success stories.